All right. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for coming. For those that are new here, my name is Arinze. My friends call me Zona. I I teach sales practically, and I'm a psychologist by training, and I deal with businesses, especially small businesses, in branding and strategy. So, what we are talking about today is finding clarity. The reason why I chose this topic is I'm someone that deals with a lot of young persons when it comes to online platform, especially in the WhatsApp space. Okay. And most of the questions I get every time is based on people that are creative, people that are, they can almost do everything, and they are always stuck in one position or the other, which is finding what is really meant for them to do, right? So, and that is one set of people. Then the second set of people are those that have not really identified what to do, but they know they want to do something, but they are overwhelmed by things that are happening, maybe by persons they are seeing, or by what their friends are doing, and they think that they cannot do the same thing. So when it comes to achieving your purpose in life, when it comes to doing something, you have to do that thing with clarity. So that's why I titled this webinar Finding Clarity. And there is no better time to have clarity in what you're doing than now that the year is about to start. There is no better way to get clarity, believe you me. So let me give you a little background of my own, what I say, predicament, if I might use that word. 2 years ago, I I was in a car wash. I was washing cars, right? In a car wash that I took on lease. That's after I have graduated from school. And it wasn't the best of the job that I wanted. But I know myself, and I know that I could not go start looking for a job or a salary job that wasn't going to be footing my bills as I want, and also might not be giving me chance. So I took up that job, I took up that role, and was hoping for something better. At least if I go for my NYC, then I start looking for something, right? So fast forward to at some point 2019, November actually, I decided to look inwards to see, okay, what skill do I have? What do I know how to do? What can I offer in exchange for value? What value am I offering in exchange for reward, actually? So I had an introspective moment. I had an introspection of myself, and I researched and I said, okay, I'm very, very good at business. I'm very, very good at buying and selling. Whenever my friends who want to go to the market, whenever they want to buy anything, they will always call me. They'll be like, Zona, how far? Where are you? Please, I will need you to help me to get this stuff. I will need you to help me to get that. And I always get the best deal for them. I always get the best deals for them. Like when it comes to marketing, when it comes to sales, when it comes to identifying a business opportunity, I'm the one to go to. And I keep on telling myself, so if I can do this, that means friends are coming to me asking me about this. So that means this is an innate skill, this is an innate ability that I have. So how do I make that to become a skill? How do I now monetize it? How do I now make it to be as a source of reward rather than just people coming to me taking advantage of what I can do and just living like that, and it's all on the altar of friendship. So I started developing myself. I started reading books on sales, on marketing, on business development. That was how I started knowing better, because there is difference between having an innate ability and developing it to form a skill out of it. So that was how I became very much aware of the skills that I have, of the ability that I have, which is when it comes to marketing, when it comes to negotiation, when it comes to identifying business opportunities. So that's how I started developing business ideas for people. So the first ever um would I say client or friend that I got, or the friend that he got some money, and I just approached him. I said, if you need if you need as people are coming to you, they drink and everything. I'm not coming here for us to drink. I'm coming here to make you more money. And he just looked at me and was like, okay, what do you mean? Because he saw that I was coming from a different aspect. I wasn't coming to ask for money. I wasn't coming to ask for one bottle. Of course, I'm not, but for quite familiar with that. So he said, okay, that he got my number, he collected my number, and we exchanged contacts. He called me the next day. He said, hey, Zona, what's up? You are saying something the other day. I said, yes, let's have an appointment. So we booked an appointment and we went to a very nice place and we sat down, we enjoyed ourselves, we talked. So I asked him, what plan do you have? He said he doesn't really know, that he just wants to put his money somewhere so that he doesn't keep on spending. I said, okay, I laid out about 3 business plans for him, showed him, mapped him out how he can gain more, how he can leverage on those businesses and everything. So he was very, very impressed. He was very, very impressed. And he said, okay, among all these 3 businesses, of course, you know better than me, which one do you think we can start? And how much do you think it will cost us to start? I said, okay, this is how much it will start, it will cost. This is the business I believe we can start and scale up. And that's how we started. I developed the business for him. He paid me. At some point, he said, okay, let's just become partners. You take 30%, I take 70%. I'm bringing all the whole investment capital. You're just managing the business. And that's how the business started. And that was how we grew friendship and partnership, right? So that was my first ever client that paid me for my skill. And I did that in just space of 2 weeks, and I gained so much than some people were gaining from um, staying in the office for 1 month, right? So the guy, that one engaged. Then he also referred me to another friend who needed businesses to develop. So I also helped that friend. So in the space of 2 months, also I worked with that person. I think 2 to 3 months I worked with that other guy, and then I went on. So as time goes on, people kept on calling me for business idea, for how to sell their business and everything. I kept on doing what? Channeling myself into that niche, into that channel of what? Sales, attending conferences, buying books. At some point, I attended a sales seminar, and what I had the last money I had in my account was 2,000 naira. That's everything I had was 2,000 naira, aside from the transport fare for going to that sales training and coming back. So when I was at that sales training, there were powerful guys there, the likes of Charles Ohabunwa, the likes of Emetuche, the likes of great guys in marketing field. Ohabunwa, for those of you that doesn't know, Ohabunwa is the man that's introduced that. He's the one that invented Pick New Sachet Milk. Cowbell Sachet Milk. When Cowbell was trying to penetrate into the Nigerian market, Pick was already there, has already taken a large share, right? So they were looking for a way to penetrate. So they contacted Charles. What Charles did was to put their milk in a powder form and put it in sachet and sold it to millions of Nigerians who could not afford Peak in a tin, Peak in a liquid milk. So he was among the teachers. So when they were teaching, I was so inspired. I got so much inspiration that I said to myself, this book, I'm buying it. So I asked, they had about 4 books, 5 books there. So I bought one. The cheapest one was 2,000 naira. So I bought it with the last card I have in my pocket. So when I bought that book, The Art of Selling, I I started consuming that book. And from that book, I developed product designs, product patterns that helped me to gain my first job with an international company. That is Paycom when they came into Enugu. So when I submit the proposal, they saw it, they loved it. It was very, very nice. So they offered me a job without even me submitting a CV, without me knowing anyone there. And all this, of course, I must acknowledge all this how thing happened also with the grace of God. So why was I able to position myself into this aspect? Why? I got clarity. I understood where I was measured for. I understood where my strength was lying. I understood where I was headed for. Okay, because I see so many young persons that will come up and they do graphics design today, and they think, graphics design is no longer working. They do coding tomorrow, coding is no longer working. They do so many things. They do data processing, they do data analysis and everything. Why? They have not really understood where their strength lies. Okay, and that is why the first topic I want us to discuss today is finding clarity, understanding where your strength is based, and building a skill on top of that, monetizing that, and making that work for you. Why was I able to become good? Um, okay, Stella, actually, the meeting is being recorded, so the recorded version will be made available soon. If you can't hear me, Jeremiah, I think maybe it's your network. I believe everyone else can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, indicate in the chat box. If you can hear me, please indicate in the chat box. Okay, yeah. So Jeremiah, I think definitely is your network that is affecting. Please check your network. So back to our discussion. Yes, thank you. I was able to become good at sales, become good at communication, become good at branding. Why? Because I looked inward and I saw that these are my innate abilities, right? These are things that I'm comfortable doing. These are things that I can do it at the snap of fingers. Sometimes I tell people that sometimes when I'm broke, when I pray, maybe I'm looking for money, I don't ask for someone to send me rich uncle to send me money from anywhere because there is no rich uncle, by the way. So what I do is that I narrow my mind down and I look for business opportunities around that I can establish. I've done this countless of times and it keeps on coming up. It keeps on paying. That is why I've been able to establish myself in this area that seems to be my skills now. So here are the patterns that I used that you too can also use. You have to pay attention to those things that come naturally to you. You have to pay attention to those skills, to those innate questions that your friends will feel comfortable to ask you. For instance, one of the tips that I give people to do this is what are if your friends are to ask you questions, what are those things that people trust you to ask you? Like I say, people always trust me to ask me about sales. People always trust, even before I started branding myself in the aspect of sales and business strategy. People are comfortable to call me up and say, please, I want to buy this. Come and help me out. And I'll get there and get them the best of deals. Please, I want to start this business. How should I go about it? This is when I've not even started doing anything, but people saw that in me. All right. So among your friends, among your family, what are those things that people find it very easy to ask you about? What are those things that people find it very easy to? Maybe it might be about relationship. There are some people that they are very, very good in advising others about relationship. They are very, very good in settling disputes. There are some people that are very, very good in settling disputes. Like once you have any issue, just call them. They are going to settle the dispute amicably, and nobody is going to feel cheated. There are some people that those are the natural skills. So you can actually see that and try to build their skills, their career opportunities that you can build around those things. There are people that are very, very good when it comes to attention, paying attention. There are people that are very, very good in listening skills. Because all skills are not just when you are able to code, when you are able to design, or when you are able to sew clothes and everything. There are things that come naturally to you. For instance, my younger brother, my last born, he he has not gone to any fashion school, but he can literally pick up a pen and paper and design a very nice clothes, especially female clothes. So my plan is once he's done with secondary school now, which they are taking about to take away. Once he's done, so I'm going to look for a very good fashion school and which and enroll him before he even goes to university. Enroll him there because these are it will be foolish of me to say that these are the things that comes very natural to him, and I'll go and put him in a coding class because I want him to be the next. I want him to build the next pay stack and sell it for 200 million. But if I put him in a fashion school, that is going to enable him to to bring out the best in what he has already established. Okay, so when it comes to building a skill, first thing you do is to find clarity. And how do you find clarity? You find clarity by identifying those things that are easy for you to do. There are some persons here that they can just wake up and solve mathematics anyhow. Whenever it comes to critical questions, whenever it comes to puzzle, whenever it comes to, they are drawn to things that make them to think. So if you are that kind of person, you might think in the line of jobs or careers or skills that are critical thinking wise, like coding, like mathematics, industrial math, like data analysis, like Internet of Things, all these things. So you look for skills or careers that are in that aspect. That is going to make it very easy for you to accept or be very, very easy for you to adapt in that concept. I hope people are understand. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. If you are having any questions, please document your question. Once it's time for Q&A, we can take that and answer that because definitely we are going to have a Q&A. So if I'm making sense, please if I'm making sense to you, please indicate in the chat box. Okay, I need to know that I'm being heard and I'm being followed. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you for your acknowledgement. All right. So when I talk to young men and ladies like me, I don't like to bring examples of Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and the likes, right? Because we don't really know their story. The story of them that we know is the one that they told us in paper, right? So I like to use examples of those that are here, myself, people that have seen. Okay, but when it comes to this, there is also a confusing aspect. There is also a confusing aspect. People also say, "Oh, this is what I have passion for, but it is not paying me." Right? They will say that I have passion for this, it's not paying me. So what do I do? So when it comes to that, the clarity that I always advise people is that sometimes passion can be overrated. When I say this, some people don't understand me, but sometimes passion can be overrated. Maybe what you have passion for is singing. Some of you currently I work with Abit Network, right? So some of you might know Bitcoin Chief, Guy Osibeze, that's my boss. His passion before was music, right? His passion was music. He When he was in university, his stage name was Soso Flow, right? Him and Blings. So, and the music wasn't paying, but that was where the passion is, right? Yeah, Soso Flow. That was where the passion is. So, but he kept on doing till he found something that could be able to pay him while he also focused on the music. So at the end of as time goes on, he found out that the side hustle was paying more, which is cryptocurrency, which is trading. He found out that the side hustle was paying more, so he focused on it and got money. Now he's a billionaire, right? Now he also has his own record label. Now bringing young persons that knows how to sing and sponsoring them and also making money from it. So I see some people, they say, I have passion for this, they have passion for that. And I look at what they have passion for. There is no clear path for that. There is no process for that. You are not seeing any clear-headed, result-oriented um, feature for that. Okay, so but to them it's just about what gives them joy. But sometimes you also need to know that what gives you joy should also put money on your table, also have the ability to put money on your table. So at that point in time, if it is not able to put money on your table, what do? You find something meaningful, find something doable by the side that could be able to put money on your table, and do that as you go on. Because that will make you not to lose focus in your passion. That will make you not to feel so frustrated in your passion. Okay, so that is about finding clarity, and that is one thing that if it is something you have to learn this year as the year starts, is to get clarity going forward. 2020 happened, right? And so many persons was thrown off balance. What happened? We never saw it coming. We never saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. So Corona came, locked up so many people up indoors. Now, those that had clarity, those that have plan, because there is one thing that having plan does for you, right? Having plan doesn't just show you where to go. Having a plan shows you where not to go. And to me, that's the most important. Because when I know where not to go, I automatically know where to go. But if you know just exactly, if you know only where to go, at some point you might get derailed along the line. At some point you might get distracted along the line. But having that plan does what? Makes you to be focused, makes you to be time conscious. Because when it comes to timing, like now a new year just started and everybody's just feeling the vibes, happy new year and everything. You're just feeling the vibe, you're just catching fun. But then also remember that the year is partitioned into time. And in time, we have days, weeks, and years. So you can live those life in doses. That is why it's partitioned into those days and weeks and months. For you to be able to live your life, not just at once, but to spread it across time and seasons. Okay, so as we are in a new era, don't get carried away that you still have more 11 months to go, that so many things are still possible. My dear, this is how 2020 started. This was exactly how 2020 started, you know, and before you know it, people got left behind. Before you know it, so many things started happening. And this new decade that is happening now, UK currently is still on a second lockdown, South Africa was on a lockdown, and so many other countries. Don't think that Corona has ended. Don't think that things are getting back to normal. So you should study. It's part of finding clarity now. So you should study what happened in 2020, all the things that happened in 2020, right? Study it and know how best to implement to affect your life this 2021. Because trust me, it might not be that different. It might not really be that different. What you are going to see here in 2020 might not really be that different from what you are going to see in 2021, this 2021. Okay, so clarity also deals with understanding um, your time and how to use, because when it comes to timing, when it comes to planning, right, there is change and there is time. Now you cannot change. You cannot change time, but what you can do is actually manage both of them. So you can manage time and you can manage the change. Just the way it happened in 2020. 2020 happened, none of us could take away the hand of time. But what some of us did and became very happy about it is that they planned with what already changed. So they managed the change that was already invoked and turned their life around with it. You have people that turned like that made trillions. Their company turned trillions in the midst of Corona. Someone like Jeff Bezos made so much money. Even when they looted his shop, he still made money. Why? He understood that times are changing. So Amazon went on to start building automated shops, super shopping malls. So you don't need cashiers, you don't need point teller persons to sell to you, all those things. So what you just need to do is walk into the shop. Once you have registered, once you have your account, just walk into the shop, pick anything. As you're going, as you're leaving the shop, it deducts it from your debit card, from your credit card. And when this thing started happening, when looting started happening in America because of the COVID and everything, people rushed Amazon automated shop, thinking that because there is no one manning it, that you are going to have a field day. Guess what? They went there, stole so many things, and as they are leaving, they didn't know that they were being billed by the item that they picked up. So they ended up owing more and making more money for Jeff Bezos than they even thought, imagine that is possible. So that was how so companies like Amazon, Elon Musk, and the rest made billions in days, right? So what am I saying here is that if you understand patterns, if you understand times, if you understand changes and how to manage them, you can be able to find more clarity and how to affect your life on what is happening. Okay, so I think we have exhausted the concept of finding clarity. Maybe when we get to the Q&A question, we talk about that more because there is no more time. So let's go to the second topic, which is understanding patterns. Now, when it comes to pattern recognition, I always tell people that in our forefathers' days, right, what was reigning was famine. They had they farmed. So that was why they married so many wives, so that they can have so many children and farm. So those that had many children and had more farms, we are ruling the day. Now, farm kind of slowed down. That's era slowed down. So education came. Those that understood that pattern of education and know that this is the end thing, right? And allow their children to go to school, eventually became what? The rulers. And those that didn't go to school and went into business and was successful also became rulers. And those that missed these two opportunities became servants to those that gained the previous opportunities. Hope you're understanding what I'm saying now. Hope it's making sense. So after that, you have the era of real estate boom. Real estate has always been there, but it kind of shifted, and people that bought land in the cities, people that came to the township and bought land and everything, became wealthy guys, became wealthy persons. And people that missed that opportunity was lacked. They didn't make much. Now, which era are we in? Then there was the era of certificates. You go to school, back certificates, and you are sure of a job. Now, which era are we in? We are in the era of showmanship. We are the era of don't tell me what you are doing, show me what you're doing. We are in the era of what is your skill, and I'll give you where you belong. Companies like Google, companies like Apple, companies like Amazon, um, the rest, Windows, they're not coming to ask you what do you have, 2-1 or first class. They just come to universities and set a test for you guys. You guys you show a skill there and then apply your wisdom, and you automatically you come into the academy and they teach you and you start working. So that is the patterns that we have gone through. The pattern that we are in now is the pattern of showing, is the pattern of skills in everything that you're doing. It's no longer the pattern that you just carry your certificate and start showing that I did this. I told you people I've worked for 2 international companies now without submitting. In fact, I've not even gotten my BSc from university. It's still there at my school. Probably this year I'll go and get it, this 2021. I know so many bright young men that are working with international companies now. They they have not even submitted anything relating to Nigerian education, Nigerian schools. What they just needed was either their GitHub portfolio or their design portfolio, or just showing evidence of what they have done. So my dear friend, that is the patterns that we are in now. And if you miss this pattern, you're definitely going to be servants to those that have understood this pattern that is going on now. Okay, it's definitely going to affect you. It's definitely going to affect you, because for every time, for every season, for every generation, there is a pattern that they operate in. Our fathers operated in the pattern of certificates. All right, go to UNN, go to this one, go to that one, and get big certificates and come out, and companies will be rushing you, right? That thing have changed. There is this big, very big accounting firm in America. I've forgotten the name. I think it's A&A or something. I've forgotten the name. They just came out last year. I think around August or so. Came out last year and said that they are no longer employing people based on BSc. In fact, they don't even need BSc. They don't even need your school certificate. Just come. If you know you can do this, come. Let's give you a test. And has started happening. Patterns have started changing. It's no longer in the era of gatekeepers. It's no longer in the era that when if you're a good actress, if you have the passion to act, you will now go and be begging one producer, please, sir, I can act. Please employ me. Please just give me an opportunity. And probably maybe for ladies, might want to sleep with you, or they might want to take advantage of you. For guys, they might want to take your money before they give you a role. Now, people are becoming celebrities without even showing in a normal movie. People like Lasisi Elenu, people like Taoma, people like so many of them, you know, Edu Pikin, people like so many of them. How did they start? Just use their phone, record themselves, put it out there on the internet, and the internet rewards you according to your performance. That's one thing about internet that is very, very sweet. The internet rewards you. So if you are good, the internet will reward you. If you are not good, the internet will also reward you. Okay, so why am I saying this? I'm saying this because so many people are still failing to understand the pattern that we are in. I'm not saying that school is not important. I'm not saying the certificate is not important. One of my books, my pending books that I have not published is called "School is Not a Scam." All right, this it's is one of the books that I intend to use to tour the whole Nigerian universities in Nigeria, the whole universities in Nigeria. Because so many people misunderstand that concept that, oh, they think, okay, it's now about skill, that school is no longer important, that I don't need to go to school. No, school is very, very important. Like, it can never be overemphasized. School is very important, but the mentality, the mindset at which you are attending that school is very, very important. It's very, very important. So you need to understand the patterns that are in play, because when you understand the patterns that are in play, what is going to help you to position yourself to profit from it. So if the pattern that is in play now is to get skills, or to get knowledge-based education, to get skill-based education and not certificate-based education, it will be foolish of you to still go back and want to get certificate-based education. I'm sorry to say this, but if you are here, you are studying public administration, I don't know where you are going to. I don't know why you are still doing that, or maybe you still want to enter school and you are feeling courses like public administration, pub admin. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you are dreaming for yourself. I don't know what you are aiming in life. Okay? Because everyone, the skill is somehow, because education was an industrial based, and the skill is somehow going into extinction. Anyone can be trained and be made a public administrator. So what distinguishes you is the ability to layer on what you have, a skill. When I came out from school, my eyes opened when I was in year two, when I attended an international competition. I represented ASUT. I went to ASUT. I represented ASUT at an international competition in Hot Prize. So they used Covenant University here in Enugu. So because we couldn't travel abroad, ASUT couldn't sponsor me to go to Canada or to go to Dubai. That was the two options that was available. So they sponsored me to participate in the one holding here in Nigeria at Covenant University. So when I got to that school, my mindset, I was I became very ashamed of myself because I thought, I should, yeah, I was relatively doing good, blah blah blah. I came to that school, I saw brightness, and I said to myself, Arinze, you're a local champion. The school on its own humbled me. Very nice environment. You see classes, you see standard classes. And I said to myself, how am I going to compete with these guys that are getting this kind of education here in Nigeria? That was what I kept asking myself. And attending that competition totally changed my mind. I came back from school. I I stopped being an academic based student and I started being a skill based student. I started being a skill based student. I started knowing how best will I apply this thing I'm studying in the society. How best will I know? That's why when I started applying my psychology into my personal life, into the life of others, into businesses I was doing, and it flourished. It became very, very good. Okay, so some of you here that are on my WhatsApp space, you saw the way I send brokers messages. Some people will come. I say, how do you send brokers message? It feels so personal. It doesn't feel like brokers message. Is the understanding of skill and pairing it with the certificate that I got. Some the way I even establish contact with them, they are so impressed. They are so wowed with the way the whole flow is established. Why? I didn't just get the certificate. I got it and added something else to it. So, my dear friends, when it comes to pattern recognition, this is almost 9 o'clock. When it comes to pattern recognition, right, understanding pattern, it deals with knowing what is obtainable at this present time that we are in. So you don't come fighting this present time with the skills or with what is obtainable during your father's time. No, it doesn't happen that way. You're going to just fail. You're going to fail. So for you to become good, what you need to do is to what? Understand the pattern that is that is in play now, and position yourself to get those patterns. So that leads me to our next conversation, which is what? Identifying skills to fit into. Like I said before, the first skills that established is what? Sales, right? Sales and business, understanding business. So So that was how I developed that skill. Why? I understood that this is what I can fit into. Now, I if you look at this design now, finding clarity, even though I'm not the one that designed it, I have my personal designer, which is King Graphics. But for each design that he's about to make, I always give him the concept. I told him, I said, this is what I want. My picture should be like this. A light bulb should be on my head. These are the colors I want. I'm always specific on what I needed for every design I am about to do. If you're making clothes for me, I'm not sewing the clothes, but I'll sit down and tell you this is how you make that clothes. And if you make it that way, it will turn out perfectly fine. And people will be rushing to get your contact. How do I now fit this into a skill? I use this now to develop myself as a product designer, right? So if we are doing something at the office now, I can say, okay, this is how this product will. I'm not going to be the one to design it, but I'm going to tell the developers this is how you're going to do it, because what I understood that these are the skills I have. So I channeled it into what? Into another skill. I have a very good ability when it comes to managing problem and solving issues. So what I learned product management. I learned product management because it fits into what I can do. I remember some way back, me and my brother Adrolo, sometimes we'll be walking home and we'll just be looking at signboards, people's signboards, and seeing those ugly names irritates me. See something like Jesus is King Fashion Complex. I'll be like, are you okay? Are you mad? Why are you bringing Jesus into fashion business? You see, every logo is The Lord is our strength. The Lord is our motto. And I say, how can these people be creative? So I know that I understand that thing. I understand how best to fit in. Why? I started developing that into a skill. Why? And that was how branding and strategy comes in for me. Okay. Sometimes I'll be working like this and I'll just be guessing. I'll just be guessing a car will be approaching to me, and I will run to guess that car by its headlamp. And 70 to 80% of the time, I'm right. And I'll say, okay, this car that is approaching is Toyota Spider. And the car comes close from the light from afar. Why? I understood designs. I understood those designs. It got my attention. There are some persons that if you start discussing politics with them, they will just slip off. Someone like me, I can discuss politics with you from morning to night. If you discuss football with me, I might be a little bit interested, but I might just at some point I will just leave you. All right. So this is how to identify skills you fit into. Those things that comes naturally to you, those things that you can do very easily. Those things that come like I tell people, you can use the activities that you do to identify things that you can fit into. There are some people that like my younger brother I told you about, he can sit all day watching Food Network in DSTV, and he knows how to cook. So if he decided to branch into maybe food business or anything, or becoming a chef, he's going to do well because where he can fit into it. Because you definitely cannot just do only one skill. You can do multiple skills. But what we are focusing on is to get a focus first, get a clarity first. There are people that if when it comes to business, someone like me, I can discuss business with you. I can just sit down like this now in front of my laptop and be researching about businesses that are doing well, and I'll be happy that I'm doing that. There are people that cannot do that. There are people that if it is not celebrity news, they will lose interest. So those kind of persons can do well in blogging, in gossiping, in you know all these mass com related things that deals on entertainment. Someone like me now, you come and make me DOS in a in a school or anything. Yeah, people are going to get bored because I'm going to always be bringing seminar, training, teachings, and the rest. Right? People are going to get bored. People will be like, what kind of DOS is it that we have? It's just teaching, it's just this, it's just that. Because I'm not going to bring more of the whole fun. Not fun, not that I'm not fun, right? Not that I'm not fun, but my fun is in another kind of way, is in the intellectual kind of way, intellectual part of way. So do you get? So all these things deals with what? Seeing, identifying skills you fit into. There are persons that they can sit down now and watch movies and analyze those movies and see those things that so you use those things to do what? To fit into a skill. There are people that once they see designs, like someone like me, if I see a design that is not good, immediately I'm already thinking, what is not good in this design? If I see a business that is not doing well, maybe I see a business name that doesn't add up well, it irritates me. So these things um formed the basics of these skills I developed: business, branding, strategy, sales, right? These things formed these skills that I fitted into. I didn't just jump into it because maybe I heard someone talking about them. No, I started doing that because I know I can fit into them, because I know that from the things that I've been doing, from the things that I can do, it comes naturally to me. So those are how to do what? To fit into skills. Those are how to do what? To identify that skill and fit into it, right? So, and like I mentioned before, skill doesn't just have to be with graphic design, doesn't just have to be, teaching is a skill. One of my mentors, she's a teacher, she just opened her own school, and her own brand of teaching is just primary school. She's not concerned with secondary school, she's just concerned with kids. That's a skill. So your skill doesn't just have to be, people are HRs in industries. That is a skill. Someone that has a good listening ear, someone that has a good managerial spirit. That's our skills. Those are skills. All right. So please, if you are the one doodling this thing, stop it. Please stop, or else I'll fish you out now and remove you. So there are organizations that employ secretaries. You see all these big bands. You don't think that they have secretaries? They have secretaries. They see all these big companies. They have secretaries. Moses Samuel, if you do all this again, I'm going to remove you here. So you see all these um big companies. They have people like secretaries, like HRs and everything. Not all of them. Not everybody in Abit Network is a coder or is a designer. All right, not every one of them is a designer or is a coder. We have secretaries, we have barristers, we have people that are into other things. We have social media managers. Okay, so not all skills have to do with coding, have to do with designing, have to do with copywriting. Not all of them. There are people that are paid as critical thinking. Critical thinking is a skill. Negotiation is a skill. And trust me, these are skills that are taking up. These are skills that are taking over very soon. These are skills that are taking over because people want people that can think. People want people that can produce um, ideas. Okay, so that gets back to the last topic now before we go to Q&A. So how do you layer on skills? How do you layer on skills? This is very, very important because someone messaged me one day. I think he was trying to pay for my course. He was trying to pay for one of my courses. So he messaged me. So I just went to his I went to his I went to his profile and I saw data analyst, I saw copywriting, I saw graphics designing, I saw crypto trader, I saw forex trader, like so many things, about 7 skills. I was like, whoa, are you serious? 7 skills. What are you doing with them? I asked him, which one are you building? He said, I'm this one, I'm that one, I just want multiple streams of income. I said, okay, that's nice, that's fine. So which one are you earning from now? Say, well, I'm not actually earning from anyone, but I just want to know how to start earning from all of them. I said, you cannot start earning from all of them if you have not learned how to do what to earn from one first. So why is skill layering very, very important? Now, like I said, my basic skill is sales. I know how to sell to people. I know how to communicate with people. Then how do that skill sales come about? First of all, I have a good communication skill. I know how to communicate with people. I have a good listening skill. So upon these 2 basic skills, now I built upon what? I built upon its sales. So as time goes on, I notice that I'm able to research about industry, about this, about brand, about everything. So the branding aspect comes up, and you see that branding, sales, business strategy, they are all aligned. They are very, very close, right? Now, also, project management came into it, even though it wasn't full time at some point. It wasn't like full time, but I did it because then it also deals with the same pattern. So you find out that all these things can actually go with each other. If you're a graphic designer, that is your basic skill, then you want to learn, let's say, UX UI design. It will be easier for you to learn that and adapt that than you're a graphic designer and the next skill you want to add to it is what? Forex trader or forex trading, because you hear that they are making money. So the pattern doesn't align. But for instance, let's say you are a coder, right? And you are learning copywriting. It's very, very good. Why? Because you learn how to code and you learn how to write. You learn how to sell. According to Naval, if you can code or you can write, you are good, right? But if you can write and sell, if you can build, if you know learn how to build or learn how to sell, that's how he put it. He said, learn how to build or learn how to sell. But if you can do both, you can be unstoppable. And trust me, anyone that can go in the history of business, great businessmen, someone like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was able to build and he was able to sell. That's why he's very, very good. That's why he was amazing. Steve Jobs can walk into a pitch, a business pitch, and stole the show because he knows how to sell. He knows how to communicate with people, right? He knows how to communicate with people. But Wozniak on the other side doesn't know how to sell. Wozniak was just a builder. That was why he was just there in the background building. But Steve Jobs could build a little bit, or he can sell more. Because in the long run, knowing how to sell is better than knowing how to build. Okay, so these are the things that you should look out in what how these skills. Okay, if um if I'm selling shoes, the best item again to add to my business is to start selling clothes. Not if you are selling shoes, you start next thing you want to sell is to start selling phone. They are not related. They are not related at all. So, but assuming you are selling shoes and you want to add something else, what thing next thing you should come to your mind is to add is to clothes. Right? You start add maybe you add jeans and polos and stuff. From there, maybe now extend to Ankara materials and the rest. If you are selling hanky and all these softwares, next thing to start adding on top of it is what, like boxers, right? Underwears for guys or for girls. From there, you can layer it up to all these free tops, all these nightwears and the rest. From there, you can maybe position into selling jerseys and stuff. From there, you can start selling maybe jeans and tops and normal polos. Not if you're selling hanky and you're selling towels, you jump and start selling kaftan, start selling abada. You will not be getting customers because what you are doing does not. They are in economies. There's what they call what's it even called? I've forgotten. Goods that goes hand in hand together. There are goods that go hand in hand together. Like when you buy akara, you want to buy bread. When you buy um beans, you want to buy bread. Or when you buy bole, you want to buy beans, all right, or you want to buy granules. So yeah, complements, things that complement each other, complementary goods. Yes, exactly. Thank you. You're following. Kingsley, you didn't eat your school fees, and Daniel. So if you buy car, you buy petrol. If you are using generator, if you buy generator, you buy oil. All right. So you look for skills that are complementary to your skills. Is very, very important. It's very, very important, guys. I can't overemphasize on this. I can't overemphasize on this at all. I'm telling you, I can't. So having said that, I want to I want to bring this I want to bring this to our attention now before the Q&A starts. So if you can see my screen, just indicate in the chat box. Okay, I just started share. I just shared a new screen now. So if you can see the screen, indicate. So yeah. So having said that, because of what I've observed that is going on, that went on in 2020, what went on even before then, what my own personal story is. I always tell people my personal story because it's changed my life. Having a skill, having something to offer changed my life. I can tell you that automatically. Having something to offer changed my life. Just existing like that and just going, it was a risk. It's a risk. Not was, it's a risk. And I advise anybody not to take that risk because something can happen anytime. So that was why I put up a couple of young, amazing students. These are people that I have under me that we have been working together. So I pulled them up. I said, okay, let's do this. Trust me, to any of this course on Coursera is not, you can't get it for 10K. And they're not offering what we're offering you. So here is the beauty of this class now. If you pay for any of this class, which is 10K, just 10K, you're going to get access for 1 month, 1 month mentorship, 1 full month mentorship of weekly practice and trainings, right? So after you, as you are being taught how to build, one of the skills here are UX UI design. So UX UI designer are people that design web platforms. The people that design, like this laptop I'm operating now is a UX UI designer that designed all this, like the chat box you are seeing, everything. They're the one that designed it before coders now built on it. Video editing, of course, so many of us know what video editing is. After recording the video, I have to now edit it, and probably if I want to make it more professional, I have to now give it to Kenneth to make it more professional, maybe add words to it, add text, add other features, right? So video editing is highly underrated now. Why? Because so many people have not really understood it. But in next 3 to 5 years, virtuals are taking over. People are getting tired of reading. Just like when you get to Instagram, you is either for you to watch a video on an advert than to read a copy of an advert. The copy might be even less, but the video might be longer, but you prefer to watch the video. That is why video editing skill is highly needed now. That is why it's highly in demand. I can't overemphasize digital marketing. Digital marketing is highly needed because every small scale business, I know how many persons jump onto my DM every day. Sir, please, do you know anyone that is good in Facebook ads, in Instagram ads, and the rest? All right. So Hassan is very good. He's the one that did my Facebook ad for this course and everything, raised the whole funnel. Some of you'll be pressing phone, and maybe after browsing about a clipper, maybe in the market, or maybe checking about a laptop, next thing you start seeing the ads on Jumia. Maybe you start seeing the ads when you visit other places. Those are your footprints being tracked. Those are digital marketing. So you need to learn those skills and learn how to sell yourself well. If you have those skills, companies will look for you. You learn how to position yourself very, very well. Graphic design it can never be overemphasized. The graphics guy that works with us in Habit Network, the two of them, I know how much they make in a month. Big money. But they became good. And how do they become good? They learn from a very good. So I don't even need to convince you. If you have seen my design so far, like even this one that is displayed now and the one that was there before, it's been done. All of them was done by Miracle. All right. He's my personal graphics design. He's so good. Very, very good. All right. So Blessing is a very amazing, talented young lady who is into UX UI design. So I summed up all these 4 skills with my own major skill. Trust me, my consultancy alone is $100, so it's way above this course. But I did all these things just to accommodate people, just to help out my fellow young persons. Because trust me, going forward, you tell yourself, had it been I know, I would have gotten something. But then it might be too late. All right, because those people thought that COVID-19 would just be something of 1 week. The lockdown will be 1 week. From 1 week, it launched into 1 month. From there, it's 9 months after strike and the rest. And it was wasted. You watch movie, you wake up and you chat. The cycle kept on going. Days was going. You wasted the full thing. So how is 2021 going to be profitable for you if you have something to offer, if you have something to be accountable to? Because trust me, if you wake up every morning and just maintain the same routine again, you are going to be bored, you're going to be frustrated. But if you register for something that you come out the 3 times in a week and they are giving assignments, you have something to rack your brain across, you have something to have you think, definitely you are going to have everything. You have books to read, you have things to do, you have something to be accountable to. And of course, after learning all these things, I'll also teach every single one of you weekly on a practical basis how to sell these skills. Kene here, who is the video editor, before he signed up for my class, he wasn't making shishi from his video editing um, skills. He was not getting peanuts. When he signed up for my class, then I taught him for 1 month. And Kene said, one day, he posted a status and I commented on that status. I said, wow, I like how far you have come. He just said, thank you, boss. Next thing I saw was an alert in my account because I didn't even know that he still had my account number. He just sent me money. He said he was just thanking me. He said, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for all you did for me. He told me that he said a budget of saving 12K every week. Oh no, was it 24K every week? Because of the thing that the work that he was doing, he was able to be securing. But in 2 weeks of doing that, it was 12K. It was 12K every week. But in 2 weeks of doing that, he has to change the pattern to 24K. Why? Because sales was rapid. I taught him what to do. I taught him how to put himself out there. All right. The same thing with Miracle. So you're not just learning how to build these skills. I'm also teaching you how to sell them. Because I sometimes come to Twitter, you see people that are skilled. Everything that they do is I'm skilled at this, so please help me retweet my tweets. You don't do that. A strategy I gave to Kene that he used on Twitter got him about 200 and something followers. And he showed me the screenshots of people. More than 20 persons was begging him, sir, please, I want to learn video editing. How much do you charge? He just kept to my DM and kept on thanking me. Right? So I'm not trying to brag, but the evidence, some of you that are my contacts here on WhatsApp, you see the testimonies that I put. So it's there. It sells for itself. Right? So this training is way above 10,000, but because this is the flagship of it, we are bringing it to this. Trust me, the next one that is coming, which is coming very, very soon, is not going to be anywhere 10,000 at all. The starting point, even without discount, it's not going to be anywhere 10,000, right? Because this is a giveaway price with everything that you're doing, and you'll be having access to these mentors. You'll be having access to them for life, because there will be a group. You always come and ask your question. You always come and ask me your question. You always know how to position your brand and everything. So for each course you're registering is 10,000 naira, and you can also combine only 2 courses. Michael came and paid for the 4 courses. I said no. I funded his money back to him. I gave him back for 2 courses. I paid him back money for 2 courses. I said you can only learn 2 so that you can focus. All right. I sometimes wanted to make it just 1, but I said, okay, some persons can learn 2 because it still goes to that skill learning. So if you look at every skill that was here, I was very, very deliberate in picking them. So these are for each skill that is here, you can merge any of them. You can merge any of them. And then now I'll now teach you how to sell them. So trust me, this is one of the best deals you can do for yourself this year. All right, is gaining a skill. Okay, so let me not flog on this more. So I'll be ending on this note. But remember, in as much as we are planning for the year, in as much as we are finding clarity for the positioning for the year, one of the things that we need to do is to subject ourselves to God. I tell young people this every time. You know, being close to God is the best thing that could happen to you. Being close to your maker, right? That's the best thing that could, because he's the one that owns the blueprint of what your purpose here in, your plan. So the book of Proverbs 16 verse 3 says, you should make your plans known to God and he will make it a success. Make your plans known to God. So as we are planning for 2021, as we are making things to work, always come close to God. Always make your plans known to God. Okay, so that is where I want to close tonight. So I thank you all. I now have 36 persons here still present. I thank you also. Let's quickly jump on the Q&A. So please, if you have any question, please indicate in the chat box. Okay, please. Um, I'm waiting. Thank you all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. So, any question? Can you people still hear me? Hello, guys. Am I still being heard? Okay. All right. Kiru say thank you. Kiru, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Ask your question, Kingsley. Kingsley, ask your question. Please be fast about it. We are running out of time. So if you have a question, please just drop it in the chat box. Okay. I'm not saying you cannot Chinaza, I'm not saying you cannot combine graphics and forex trading. I'm saying that you should find complementary skills. Yes, graphics can come as a side hustle because it gives forex can come as a side hustle because it gives money, right? But that is if you have mastered it. If you have mastered it, it comes as a side hustle. So you are making money by the side. Like there are some of us that trade by the side. It's not like we're an active trader. We just trade by the side. Maybe we are more of investors, just buy and keep. At some point, maybe you not just trade 1 or 2 times and just pack, right? So I'm not saying you cannot combine. What I'm saying is that it is not a complementary skill. Okay, you can do it if you want, but then if you tell yourself the truth, it find out that it is not complementary to each other. It will be giving you more stress. So Lambert says, if you're a person who has tried so many things and lost touch of your strength, how do you redirect yourself towards finding skills of best fit? Lambert, I don't know if you are listening from the beginning, but then I'm seeing your name here all the Lambert Nnadi. I've been here all through. So it's the same thing I said. It's the same thing I said, my dear. You have to look inward. You have to have an introspection for yourself. And also finding clarity deals with avoiding distractions. These days we are too distracted. We are too distracted. Sometimes have a quiet time for yourself. Ask yourself some important questions that is very, very hard to answer. Ask yourself some important questions. Okay? Ask yourself those questions and know where best, because we cannot lie to ourselves. We always know the truth. We tell ourselves the best advice. We are the best advisors that we can have for ourselves. All right. So when you look at yourself, you say, this thing I failed in this thing because of this, or this was why I failed in this thing because of this. So if you're able to ask those questions, you are going to get clarity. And once you get clarity, you can say to yourself, okay, I'm going to focus on this and focus on this alone till it pays. Gary Vee said something. He said, if you feel distracted, if you feel confused, you are listening to the wrong person. So imagine now if my focus is all on sales, right? And I go and be listening to people that are talking about forex this, forex that, forex that. I'm going to be distracted. I'm going to feel like I'm not doing anything good with my life. Why things are going on well in my sales aspect, right? So that is it. Um, about the skills layering, is there a particular time to add a skill? Yes, a particular time one is very advisable to start adding a skill when you have mastered one first. All right. If you have mastered one, then add the one that will complement it. Okay. So about the course combo, do you recommend to buy the two courses that complement each other? Yes, I recommend to buy. There are people that are buying, there are people that are already paying for the courses. Okay, and we are about closing registration very soon because the facilitators are reaching their limit. So because I don't want it to be crowded, I want each facilitator to just have a limited amount of students so that they can concentrate on them. Because to me, this is the first thing this thing is happening. I want people that I'm going to be training in this to come out excellent, to come out almost excellent, so that when they will be giving testimonials tomorrow, I can use their testimonial to sell. Okay, I want them to come out almost perfect. So yeah, you can buy two courses that complement to each other. From what I've said now, you can now know which courses are there to complete, which courses that you can fit into perfectly, and now buy for them, pay for them. I'll drop my WhatsApp message later, WhatsApp number later, so you can connect with me. So I can start a female wear brand now, go it from like a year or less, and add a food business later. Food and fashion, it can come in, depends on the platform you are doing it. If it's online platform, yes, it's I have someone I have someone in my contact list. She's into pastries, bakeries, right? And she's very good. When I was at Lagos, she's the one that um arranged the small chops that we use. Very, very nice small chops. So, and she also sells these fashion items, bracelets, rings, shoes, earrings, and the rest. Okay, so you have to don't start both at the same time so that you don't confuse people. Start learning how to sell, unless you know how to. Someone like me now, I can start doing five things at the same time because I already know how to sell them, right? I already know how to sell them. So that is how it happens. Learn you have to learn one first, know how to spread. You have to focus, then know how to spread. So how can one know at a point a skill is not okay? How can one know at a point a skill is not for him? Because some people preach motivation and endurance, but the person may not be paying. How can one really know when to change a skill? Okay, I think, all right, Jeremiah, you say, how can one? Okay, let me tell you something. As an undergraduate, I did many things. I was barbing hair. At some point, I was barbing hair. At some point, I switched into bet business, right? At some point, I switched into salon business. Then I know that to me was um, a a means to an end. That was not the end for me, right? I know that was not the end. That was a means to an end. So I was not paying attention to what people were actually saying. To me, then it was just more about getting money and going through school, seeing myself through school, right? So, but I know that all those things, it still boils down to sales. It still boils down to the things I was able to willing to say. And for each of them, I did well. I did very, very well in them, right? So when to know how to drop a skill is when you know you are not getting satisfaction. One of my students just called me the other day. She said that, "So I'm dropping this graphics design. I struggle every day to come up with design concepts. I struggle every day to give good work." I said, okay, why? She said she jumped into it on the first place just because she knows that she can do it if she sets her mind on it, and she needed money. So she was just doing all this quick design, 2K design, 5K design, 3K design, and just getting money, right? So now she wants to settle that and do what is actually in her heart, which is coding. And she's also into computer science. She's also studying computer science, right? So you know when to drop a skill when you are no longer deriving pleasure, when you're no longer driving satisfaction in it. So you know that is when to change a skill. Okay. So sometimes endurance is not what is needed. Sometimes what is needed is change. Sometimes what is needed is change, not endurance. All right. All right, Margaret, you're welcome. You're welcome, Margaret. So you're learning web development. I connect more to tech, so I started from there. But learning alone online has not been easy. Yes, James, it won't be easy. That's why mentorship is very important. Yes, I understand the fact maybe you don't have money. Yeah, at that point you might not have money. So it's very, very good to start learning on your own, right? But as you start gaining, learn how to get money and start paying for courses. Learn how to start getting people that will teach you, people that will teach, because it's very, very good to have someone that will help you to navigate the murky waters of mistakes. Because if you keep on going it alone, sorry, if you keep on going through that alone just to try to figure out everything by yourself, you're going to spend 40 years in the wilderness instead of just going 40 days. Okay, that is it. I mean, the skill may not be paying. What limits should be reached before one can be achieved? Like I said, if you feel something is not yielding, right? Not just when it is not paying you immediately. When you have looked in the process and things are not working out the way you know it ought to work out, right? There is no process towards this. The best thing is just for you to re-strategize and know how best to move on. Okay. All right. So Goss will say thank you. As a skilled person, okay. Goss will. If the best way to start connecting is to know how to start networking, know how to communicate, start attending physical event that deals with your niche, right? If you're a coder, if there is a conference, if there is a webinar, try to attend, comment in the session boards, reach out to Twitter, search for people that are in your niche, start commenting on their tweets. Start making good comments on their tweets. Not just come and say, nice tweet. No. Start making good comments, related good comments, so that when they read, they say, this person is into this. This person knows what is been doing, is he or she is doing. Okay, so that's how best to connect. You connect by giving value. You don't just connect by coming how to take. I always tell people, when you are in the presence of Pharaoh, interpret his dreams, don't tell me yours. So Lambert says thank you so much, thank you for your time, Lambert. All right guys, I think that is all for now. So here is my WhatsApp number. If you are not connected with me on my WhatsApp, or you want to pay for the class, this class is ending soon, so I'll advise you to just take advantage. 62136984. All right, so if you are connecting with me, please introduce yourself with your full name. Please introduce yourself with your full name. 136984. So this is my number, guys. This is my number. So if you're here, you are not on WhatsApp with me, so this is my number. Connect with me on WhatsApp. So just introduce yourself. Tell me that you connect with me from this webinar and you would like us to connect with your full name. Okay. So that is it for now. Is there any other question relating to this paid class that is going on? This class is starting next week. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be super amazing. Trust me, you don't want to end this year without having something to attach to your name. My number is there. I just posted it now. So you can write it out if you can't see it from the chat box. So my number is 081 62 13 6984. I'll call it again. My number is in this chat box. If you can see the chat box, you can see my number, but I'm going to call it again. My number is 081 62 13 6984. All right. So that is my number. That's my number. So you can connect with me on WhatsApp. Just send me your full name, introduce yourself with your full name, and tell me that this is you connected with me from this webinar. So for the last time again, my number is 081 62 13 6984. Yes, Kingsley, that's my number. That's my number. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you all for stopping by and joining my webinar. All right. So I hope to see you. I hope to see you in my DM. Let's talk more on how you can register and position for profit. So let me sign out with a very nice